Hulk Hogan wrote a letter to his daughter that she never opened until now. What was inside left her frozen in shock and made her mother cry online because it exposed her as well.
A complete liar. He's a stepdad.
It's more than a confession. It's a bombshell that could destroy whatever is left of their family. This isn't just drama. It's something much darker. Let me explain: a daughter's silent pain.
It's so funny. I never really was like a big fame person, even though we did TV and we, had that whole life. I really like kind of being a hermit crab.
Brooke did not cry when the news of her father's death broke. She skipped the WWE tribute and refused to open the letter he had written to her just days before he passed. But when Brooke Hogan finally did, she turned pale. What was inside that envelope was not just a goodbye or a father's last words. It was a confession, a bombshell, a written breakdown of secrets he had never spoken aloud. Truth so devastating and so personal that some members of the Hogan family are reportedly furious it even exists. That letter has the power to destroy whatever legacy Hulk Hogan thought he had left. Hulk Hogan, born Terry Bollea, was once America's muscle-bound father figure, a man who turned the WWF into family programming and became a pop culture icon in yellow trunks. But behind the screaming fans and the trademark mustache was a deeply fractured family, one that had been breaking long before the public ever knew. At the heart of that fracture was Brooke Hogan. Brooke, who once sang her way into reality TV fame with Hogan Knows Best, went from daddy's girl to his harshest critic. She had been his biggest fan, and then, without warning, she was gone, estranged, absent, silent. Her only message after his death raised more questions than it answered. On July 29th, 5 days after Hulk Hogan died of cardiac arrest, Brooke posted a tribute titled, "My Dearest Daddy," on Instagram. In it, she revealed that she had not spoken to her father in nearly 2 years. She did not attend his wedding to Sky Daily and was not invited to the WWE tribute either, according to her post. Her words were soft but haunting. "We had a connection deeper than words, and yet I had to step away to protect my heart." She also admitted to removing herself from Hulk's will in 2023 by her own choice. She wanted no part of the $25 million fortune. No lawyers, no lawsuits, no fight. She did not explain why, at least not directly. But now we know it was about that letter, the one she received months earlier and only opened after he died. Multiple sources say Brooke physically recoiled when she read it. Family insiders described her as pale as a ghost. Her husband reportedly said she left the room sobbing and did not speak for hours. The letter was not part of any official estate document. It was not filed with lawyers or passed down through a will. It was handed over privately by someone close to Hulk, his wife, Sky Daily. That detail alone says a lot, because Brooke and Sky had not spoken since 2023. Brooke skipped their wedding, writing on Instagram that she needed space for healing and happiness. But what really happened was far darker. Brooke had warned her father about Sky, about what she called controlling influences around him. She believed her father was being isolated, that his medical and business decisions and even his faith were being manipulated. She made the painful choice to step away. In 2023, she told him, "I can't reach you anymore." That was the last conversation they ever had. Months later, Hogan and Sky were baptized together in a Florida church. Hogan called it the greatest day of his life and began publicly emphasizing his born-again Christian faith, as reported by People. In private, however, he began writing letters to those he felt he had wronged. One of them was Brooke. He wrote that letter in January 2025, gave it to Sky in April, and Brooke did not open it until July 25. The question is why? Why did Brooke leave it unopened for months? According to those close to her, she had already said her goodbyes and wanted no part in reopening old wounds. But everything changed when she discovered that the letter mentioned her children. Brooke had become a mother to twins, Oliver Andrew and Molly Jean, in January 2025. Hulk never met them and never asked about them. In his letter, he explained WHYIT was the kind of confession that makes your blood run cold. In it, Hogan did not just apologize, he revealed one of his darkest secrets. He admitted to one of the most painful betrayals imaginable, sleeping with his daughter Brooke's best friend. Let's go back to 2007. That was when Linda Hogan filed for divorce after discovering Hulk's alleged affair with Christiane Plant, a woman who had worked closely with Brooke on her music career. Years later, Linda called Hulk a liar and a sex addict and accused him of emotionally ruining her and their children. According to Plant herself, the affair happened when the marriage was already over in private, but the damage had been done. She wrote Brooke an apology note and told the press, "I will never be able to fully forgive myself for this." Brooke was devastated. She posted a message on MySpace, later deleted, that read, "When your best friend and one of your closest family members, people you have loved unconditionally since your first day on this earth, betray you together, you never forget the hurt." That betrayal never healed, and Brooke has said her father's actions during that time were emotionally scarring. Just as the family was beginning to process that trauma, Hulk Hogan became infamous for something else, a sex tape and a racial slur. In 2012, a leaked recording revealed Hogan making offensive remarks about his daughter possibly dating a black man. The public backlash was immediate. WWE cut ties with him, sponsors dropped him, and for many, the image of Hulk Hogan as a family man was shattered.
At the lowest point of my life, my personal life was destroyed. I was very mad at my daughter. I was upset over a situation that happened between her and her boyfriend. I had no idea I was being taped. I was to the point where I wanted.
Brooke defended herself, but she never fully defended him. It was this moment, this deep fracture, that many believe Hulk tried to repair in his final letter. The Hogan family's troubles went far beyond the strained bond between father and daughter, encompassing a web of scandals, legal battles, and personal tragedies that ultimately destroyed one of America's most famous families. The complete collapse of the Hogan dynasty. To understand the depth of that downfall, we have to go back to the beginning, to a time when Terry Jean Bollea was just a young wrestler fighting to make it in the business, and Linda Claridge was the woman who stood by his side as he transformed into the global phenomenon known as Hulk Hogan. Hulk and Linda met in the early 1980s and married on December 18, 1983, in a ceremony attended by wrestling legends, including Vince McMahon and Andre the Giant. For 24 years, they built what appeared to be a successful marriage and family, with Linda playing the role of the supportive wife while Hulk conquered the wrestling world. Together, they had 2 children, Brooke, born in 1988, and Nick, born in 1990. Their family life was eventually showcased to the world through their reality television show. But beneath the surface of this seemingly perfect household, cracks were already beginning to show. The reality series Hogan Knows Best portrayed the image of a close-knit, wholesome family, but in truth, it added even more strain to their relationship. The constant filming, public exposure, and pressure of living their lives under the spotlight, combined with the demands of Hulk's career and his increasingly controlling behavior, began to take their toll. The first major blow to the family did not come from Hulk's professional life, but from the actions of his son, Nick. On August 26, 2007, 17-year-old Nick Hogan was involved in a devastating car crash in Clearwater, Florida, while driving a yellow Toyota Supra owned by his father. The accident occurred around 7:30 p.m. on Court Street, where the speed limit was 40 miles per hour. Nick was traveling well above that. Reports estimated his speed at 80 to 90 miles per hour on a wet road following recent rain. Nick was not alone in the car. His passenger was John Graziano, a 22-year-old U.S. Marine and close friend who worked as part of Nick's drifting team's pit crew. The crash was catastrophic. Nick lost control of the Supra, which fishtailed and spun across the road, struck a raised median, then collided with a palm tree, wrapping the car around it and destroying the vehicle completely. Investigators later confirmed that Nick had been racing another car that night.
It's been a horrible accident.
Is there any smoke or flame coming from the vehicle?
Yeah, they were racing. They were racing. It was too conflict.
While Nick sustained only minor injuries and was released from the hospital the following day, Graziano was critically injured and airlifted to a trauma center, where he remained in a coma for weeks. He suffered catastrophic injuries, including severe brain damage, a fractured skull, extensive eye damage, and other trauma that left him in a permanent vegetative state requiring lifelong care. The young Marine, who had served his country with honor, would never be the same again. The legal consequences for Nick were swift and severe. He was charged with reckless driving involving serious bodily injury, using a motor vehicle in the commission of a felony, operating a vehicle with a blood alcohol level over 0.02% as a minor, and illegal window tint. On May 9, 2008, Nick pleaded no contest and was sentenced to 8 months in Pinellas County Jail, 5 years of probation, 500 hours of community service, and a 3-year suspension of his driver's license. To this day,